What's up? Welcome in. It's Hold My Banner, your one-stop shop, everything you need on the Celtics. I'm George Balekji. He's my man, Ountae Campbell. Tay, how we doing today, bro?
I'm doing good. George, can you tell me, though, really quickly? Can you tell me about this stuff going on with the 76ers? Because I know this hits home for you, bro. So just talk to me about
Ah,
that.
bro, this is why I love doing shows with you. You throw up the oop, I throw it down like it's LeBron James. I want to give a shout out Ariana Andonian. She's a female, she's Armenian, and she's now the vice president of player personnel for the 76ers. She goes back to the Houston Rocket days with Daryl Morey as a scout on his staff, and one of the very few, if maybe the only female NBA scout in the league at that point. But she's credited with identifying Matisse Thybulle for Daryl Morey, and that's how he ended up getting to the league. Like, she saw that spark in him, and she was with him with the Rockets. Once he went to Philly, she's actually been with Zach Kleinman of the Memphis Grizzlies since 2020. Again, really good front office lead, really good eye for talent in the NBA, someone that knows how to lead a front office. So she's coming with all this talent, taking on a huge role with the 76ers. It hits home for me because she's Armenian. I know the bigger thing is that she's a female in a significant role, but we just see the growth in the game, right? It started with Pop and Becky Hammond. It's now Ariana Andonian. I'm sure there are others I'm leaving off the list, but I saw this headline come up. I DM'd it to you right away on Instagram. I'm like, bro, check it. Anytime, for the folks listening, for the folks watching, you see an IAN or a YAN at the end of a last name, they're Armenian. I don't have one because I'm Lebanese from my dad's side with the last name, but just to educate the folks, I'm always going to put it out there. That's the best thing to tell them. So shout out to Ariana Andonian and her new role with the 76ers. I'm stoked. All right, no, Jimmy Harden's not there. Yeah, I could root for the 76ers and Joel Embiid now. Yeah, that's right.
Jimmy Harden, bro. You got to stop calling him that, bro. But look, all right. I got the fresh fade, George. From the
It
South End,
looks
my
good.
Dominican brothers, they got me right. You know what I'm saying? But where I'm from, a fade is what you do with your fists, hands up, you know what I'm saying? Swinging, whatever. And it looks like Joe Mazzulla is going to catch a couple fades this year based off of his comments today. Did you see what he said, bro?
Yeah, man. Shout out John Corrales getting this interview. It's over on Locked On Celtics. John's a good dude. Obviously has a good relationship with Missoula, but he hopped on and they had a good convo, like talking about a lot of different things, like his relationship with his wife, what it is like right now, the parade, denting Larry O'B trophy. But the quote from Missoula was great, Tay, and you sent this to me. People are
Yeah.
going to say that the target is on our back, but I hope it's right on our forehead in between our eyes. That's Joe Mazzulla, the psycho for you. That is the guy, and I was hypercritical of him all playoff run, all through the regular season. But for a Celtics team that cruised through the regular season and cruised through the playoffs, matter of fact, end of the day, the priority job of an NBA head coach is, can you get guys to show up? It sounds so dumb. It sounds so simple. But these are the best athletes in the world. They're developed at this point, especially if you have a star-studded, packed team like the Celtics: Tatum, Brown, Holiday, White, Porzingis. List goes on and on. You don't got to teach these guys basketball. Can you get them to buy in, A, to what you're doing on defense and his offensive system, which they love shooting that many threes? And B, can you get them to lock in, especially for a playoff run? Things never got dangerous. Things never got cute. The only time they lost a game throughout the postseason, Tay, was opponent was unconscious from three. Celtics went cold from three. It's as simple as that. So a quote like this, I love it. It's going to grab people like, all right, Mazzulla's back here. He's going again. But this is the psycho Joe Mazzulla that is an NBA champion. And this is the psycho head coach the Celtics need if they want to repeat. We talk all the time about second apron, new CBA coming. How long is this core together? Joe Mazzulla is going to be a key reason why they repeat. So I loved this quote, Tay. What did you think of that, bro?
Yeah, I thought the quote was great as well. Like you said, number one job for an NBA head coach is motivating. You know what I mean? And number
Yeah.
two job is just managing egos. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much your job as an NBA coach. And with this quote, that's all he's doing is motivating his guys. Because I've been on teams like that, right? Where your coach comes into the locker room and he says something like that. And it's just like, yeah, you know what I mean? You start hitting your chest, you're getting all excited. It's just how it goes. So I love this quote from Mazzulla. Is going to make sure that his team is as excited as he is to play this upcoming season, to repeat. We saw from Tatum and O'Shea Brissett that he's locked in, ready to repeat. He's already talking about how he's not putting a ring on his pinky finger because he's going to save it for the next one. So these guys are locked in, and Joe Mazzulla just embodied that with that quote. So I love it as well.
It's just big of, and even to hear that from Tatum, because where I have to think of like what could go wrong. It's not what does the Celtics team need to do right to repeat. We've seen it. They just be them and they can repeat. My worry is how did Jason Tatum take this offseason? Does he rest on his laurels? He wins. Is it relief? Does he attack it just as hard? We saw for Jaylen Brown back in the pool, back doing those underwater workouts. Best thing to happen to JB was getting snubbed from Team USA. I hope he comes back with a vengeance in 4 years for Spain, Canada, France, whatever. But that is what motivated him. But to hear Tatum say something like that, like they have to lock in. And whatever they did in the offseason leading into the regular season, however they approach the regular season day to day, you got to do that again. You got to do that, if not more, because as Mazzulla is saying it, the target is right between our eyes. It's going to be even harder, as talented as they are, as deep as they are, as just all around elite as they are on all levels of basketball. Target's going to be bigger, going to be between the eyes. To hear from Tatum, to see it from Brown, what they've been doing, that's what's big. End of the day, man, we know the ownership of the Celtics keeps swirling. These guys don't care because they know it's right effing now to repeat before that second apron and that repeater tax comes knocking. It's real this year. That's what I love about this season come up in the NBA. Before stuff gets real with that second apron, it's a hard cap. It's not soft. It's hard. Ask the owners, ask front office peeps. This is a last go for the Celtics to repeat. They need to do it now.
For sure. All right, let's talk about a team out west that could compete against the Celtics in the NBA Finals this year. The Minnesota Timberwolves. They're the team that's up for our NBA preview. George, how do you feel about the Timberwolves' upcoming season?
Man, I'm excited to see this one. I want to see the jump that we get from Anthony Edwards, Ountae, because we saw what he did of carrying that team, being on the spot, wanting the ball in his hand late in games, and just honestly having like the sports world in the palm of his hand, which bled into the Olympics. But we saw his legs run out. Like he just simply didn't have any more juice towards the end. Cool. Bet. Go into the offseason. How do you hit the weight room? How do you hit conditioning? How do you come back to get your body through an 82-game regular season and then win 16 games in the postseason? Because that's what it's all about. And however long that can end up taking as well. I'm excited. I look at this team, and when you do think about it, you go, what can they be? They could be Western Conference champions. I wouldn't be shocked at all. It's because of Anthony Edwards. It's because of how they attacked the draft as well, getting a Terrence Shannon Jr., trading after he was drafted for Rob Dillingham, a guy we both love. We were like, yo, wait. Because it was San Antonio, right? We're like, the Spurs got him with Wemby?
Yeah.
Like, and then they traded him to T-Wolves. I'm like, why would San Antonio do that? But I love that the T-Wolves did that because that's a shot creator, a slasher, and an NBA-ready guard to play off of Anthony Edwards. The question is, man, and this is where the red flag is with this team. You got to go through green flags. You got to go through red flags. It's just like when we're on dating apps around Boston, right? I'm 2 years retired, though, luckily. What is the red flag with this team, right? What's the red flag with this date to go to the NBA Finals? It's two, Rudy Gobert and Karl-Anthony Towns. I love what Ant-Man pulled out of Karl-Anthony Towns to breathe confidence into him, but they hold it back. And it's because of how big their cap hits are and how they're already over the second apron. Like, if it doesn't happen now and they have to break things up, it's going to be because of those two too. Like, it is. It's for every team, but it is. The window is right now before it gets shut for this creation of the Timberwolves.
Yeah, the window is now. Like you said, it's going to go on Karl-Anthony Towns. It's going to go on Rudy Gobert. But everyone got paid, George. Everyone got paid. So their window is super, super short, even though they're a young team. You talked about Rob Dillingham. You talked about Terrence Shannon. They're guys that are going to help them out in the future, and it's going to be there for forever. But Rudy may not. He might have to get moved on. Cat may not. He might have to get moved on eventually because everyone got paid. They got paid. Ant got paid. McDaniel got paid. Everybody gets paid in Minnesota. And when you got 75 owners and we don't know who's owning the day and owning tomorrow, you know what I mean, type of situation with a small market team, that second apron is scary as heck. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be a team that has to go out there and win right now. And I think they did that in the draft. Like you said, getting two young guards who are ready to play NBA basketball today. That's what they went and got. Guys who are going to bring instant offense because we, as an NBA fan, you and I know that them losing Kyle Anderson was a huge loss for them this offseason. You know what I'm saying? Huge. So if these two young guys can come in and kind of add to their team and be good players immediately, that would be fantastic. You would pat the GM on the butt, tap Coach Fitch on the back of the back, and say, "Hey, man, you guys did that." So they're really going to have a tough time because their timeline is so small for a team that's just now starting to figure it out. But man, you get to me in February, ask me then, like, "Hey, Tay, do you think this team is a finals team?" If they're sitting there at like 40, 45 wins, I might look at you and say, "Hey, George, this team is legit." You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see.
I'm not afraid to speak finals with this team. I'm afraid to speak finals with the Nuggets. Like, as crazy as it is, I hate the Nuggets offseason. I like what the T-Wolves did with their offseason. But you're right. I mean, you lose Slow-Mo. He's a guy, whether it's been with the Timberwolves, with the Grizzlies, with the Spurs, just to name a few of his stops. He's always been a significant piece. Terrence Shannon Jr., a little smaller. He does have a big build, but he's not as long as Kyle Anderson. At least he has it on both ends of the floor, like a good defender at Illinois, a good offensive player at Illinois as well. And Dillingham, we know, can get downhill and get buckets. It'll look different, but I feel like Terrence Shannon can help fill, would not do it himself, can help fill that Kyle Anderson void. Because you get into the postseason, guys like Slow-Mo matter. What I'm excited for, they brought my boy Naz Reid. He's still there. My boy from Jersey, who is huge, especially matching up on the perimeter, brings that shooting as he's tall, but a thinner forward where he could play that 5, that 4, but match up and defend people on the perimeter. You could trust him there, and he can shoot. I love Naz Reid. It's interesting how they can replace Kyle Anderson, but they got 82 games in the regular season to figure that out. I'm not worried about this team first round, second round. I think this is a team, Western Conference Finals floor, Finals ceiling. Am I able to say NBA champion yet? No, because the Celtics loom on the other side. But if they get into the finals, I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah, definitely not ready to say NBA champion because the way the Celtics look like they are prepared, it looks like it's already a done deal. You might as well give Tatum his pinky ring right now. George, I don't, really like any of the bets that I've seen. I think I kind of like hitting the over of 52.5 wins this season for the Timberwolves, but I'm not really sold on that one just yet. Are there any bets from this team that you like?
Anthony Edwards, MVP 13-1. I mean, it's a narrative award, right, Tay? And Jokic and Doncic and Giannis are the 3 best players in the league right now. And SGA is about to come up and get into that combo. But I just think the Nuggets do fall off of the back-to-back long seasons they had, including the Olympic run by Nikola Jokic. Doncic, I just don't know what we'll get from him. Giannis could be the wild card and come out even more motivated than ever and being back to be the effing dog that he is. But Anthony Edwards is is just like the diamond in the eye of everyone that watches the NBA. He's the most charismatic guy. The league loves him. Writers love him. He's so good that because of the narrative, and he's an elite baller, bro. At 13-1, I think that's a really good number on Anthony Edwards. I would be surprised if he wins MVP because I think it would be an SGA, a Luka, maybe a Giannis or Tatum enters a convo, maybe a Jalen Brunson plays party record because of the Knicks. But again, I'm thinking narratives. 13-1 for a great narrative like Anthony Edwards. I do like that.
Yeah, you know what I'm just thinking of, and I haven't looked at the numbers, right? I would kind of like to see what the numbers are for Gobert winning Depoy again. You know why? Because we talked about disrespect and being locked in and all that other stuff. We talked about the disrespect that Tatum and Brown saw, throughout the offseason with Team USA and all of that stuff this summer. Rudy kind of had the same. You know what I mean? He had disrespect coming from France. He got benched. He was supposed to be their best player. We know Wemby is, but he's supposed to be their premier best player on their team, right? He's coming off the bench for them later in the second half of that Olympic run. And then on top of that, today, Shaq is over here on Complex talking about, Rudy Gobert is the worst player of all time and all this other stuff. And Gobert basically was hitting the rich homie Quan. And got no pride, make you feel some type of way. Hey, I'm shining, me will make the type of work. You know what I'm saying? So rest in peace, Rich Homie Quad. I just had to get that one out. But, Gobert's over there basically saying, why you pocket watching, bro? Like, you mad because I'm making money? You mad because I'm shining? Like, stop doing that. So it seems like he's disrespected and feels disrespected. And if he comes locked in, like we know Tatum, Brown are going to be this summer, after this summer, he could be a guy that wins Depoy over Wemby again.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked. I think Wemby should get, I mean, just the way he eliminates shots, let alone defends them. But I think Wemby's more of that. He's not there yet. He's going to be
Yeah.
the MVP combo. You and I are like, every day you're like, is it the GOAT? Are we witnessing a GOAT? And I'm like, bro, I'm not afraid to talk about that yet. I'm not afraid to talk about an all NBA guy, but no Wemby talk to the Gobert. He's been disrespected in the past. Does this light it up even more? I hope so. End of the day, I know that a game, maybe a series clincher, it comes down to if Karl-Anthony Towns can show up, and that's what I'm afraid of. Mentally, I know what Anthony Edwards will bring for entire postseason. Mentally, physically, all of that. But I just don't know what we will get with Cat. And Gobert is somewhat the same thing, but he does his role and he does it well. Yeah, Shaq's just hating. All that money he gets, though, I mean, like, bro, Shaq got paid. He's worth so much. If he was around today, he would get dogged like Zion for out of shape he is. Kobe wanted to kill him for that. I was hesitant to say it. I don't want to go as Shaq. I love him. But, like, that's a fact. So for him to do it now, it's like, bro, look who's talking. Like, oh, you're perfect. You ain't got no flaws. Come on now.
Yeah, I feel that. All right, George, I want to ask you about this, man. I want to know your top 3 basketball movies of all time, George.
All right, I even got to rank.
We'll start from 3 and we'll go to 1.
Oh, okay.
And
I
I'll
like
give
this.
you tell me your 3 first. I mean your third
Yeah, I'll go
place
3.
movie, and then I'll give you my third place movie.
I'm going to go 3. I'm just going to go Like Mike, bro. Such a good movie.
Okay.
It takes me back to my childhood. I think that's all time. I was between here and Above the Rim, but like I didn't watch Above the Rim until the last few years. Like Mike, grew up watching it. Anytime it's on, it's wholesome, bro. It's nothing crazy. But with Bow Wow starring in it, gets the shoes, they're the Magic, loses them. And at the end, he gets adopted with his best friend. Man, I'm just going to cry talking about it. So it's not the best basketball movie, but for me, it's my number 3. I go Like Mike.
That's all right. Okay. And for me, I know mine is probably not the best basketball movie ever either. Number 3, I got to go with the one with Anthony Edwards as Kermit. And he's sitting there and he goes, "Oh, that's your daughter up there? Oh, is that her mom? Oh, okay. I see what's going on here." Yeah, Hustle, man. Hustle's a great movie. I love Adam Sandler. He makes some great movies, bro. Hustle is hilarious. It has some great moments, and it has some heartfelt moments in it as well, too. You're on the edge of your seat, hoping that this kid gets drafted or gets a chance to, join an NBA team. So, yeah, Hustle was a great thriller, bro. I know it's not the best, but it's one of my favorites.
No, it hits on the heartstrings. It's kind of like Click. Like it's Adam Sandler movie again, but it's like Click meets sports of like you just feel it in your heart, especially at the end. He finally answers that call to get on an NBA bench, and he matches up with his boy who he helped to get to the league. So I love that. My 2, this is tough between my 1 and my 2, but my 2, it's going to be White Man Can't Jump. Now, I know I said I didn't watch Above the Rim until recently. I watched White Man Can't Jump. Like, I think I was like 11, 12 years old first time I saw that. The cast. Let's just talk about the cast. Wesley Snipes, Woody Harrelson, Rosie Perez. I was someone that was madly in love with Gloria growing up. I still am to this day. When I watch that movie, bro, Gloria is an all-time. But I just love the entire plot of the movie where they're butting heads. They hate each other, but they need to get out of trouble. They're using each other to hustle. And even, I think one of the best cameos I've ever seen in a movie is a guy that's from your area, from L.A., Marquise Johnson, in that scene where they're playing pickup, they hustle and they're getting the argument. He goes, "That's it. I'm going to my car. I'm getting my gun. I'm showing everybody's ass." And they dart out of there. Marquise Johnson to this day is a legend for executing those lines. I just love White Man Can't Jump, man. And the soundtrack, everything, where they finally play one-on-one at night in like that side, like just deserted lot, but there's a hoop in it. Dude, I love it. And then they finally get Gloria on Jeopardy. And she gets him out of it. That's such a good movie. White Man Can't Jump for me, bro.
Yeah, man, that's a great movie. White Man Can't Jump. Look, I can't lie to you. The remake with Jack Harlow.
I'm not going. I'll never watch it. No, I don't care to watch it. You don't touch that movie, bro. You don't touch that movie.
Trash, man. Wesley Snipes. Yeah, definitely a great movie, bro, for sure. All right, for me, another one that I love is just He Got Game, bro. It's number 2 for me because number 1 holds near and dear to my heart, which we'll get to. But He Got Game. Jesus Shuttlesworth, bro, you don't understand how bad I wanted to be Ray Allen growing up as a kid. Like, Ray Allen was the guy because of that movie, bro. And it's a freaking Spike Lee movie with Ray Allen and Denzel Washington. What more can
Enough
I
said.
ask for? You know what I'm saying? And then Rick Fox comes in when he goes on the college visit and he's acting all suave and chilling. I'm like, bruh, this movie is hilarious. It's got all of my favorite people in it. You know, it was a good movie, bro. I probably shouldn't have been watching it when I was watching it. I was watching it at like 10 years old. But like, hey, man, that movie is undefeated. Undefeated.
I agree. You're going to love my number one. It's He Got Game, bro. Same thing.
Yeah.
I watched that well before I should have. And I tell you, I bet, like, you were good at hooping, like, your whole life. But when you
Yeah.
watch those recruiting, like, when he's going on his recruiting visit scenes, you're like, oh, I want to go play college basketball. I just want to go on the visits. Everyone that threw a
Right.
visit your way. I just love the casting. Denzel's elite in that role. I mean, it's Denzel, bro, like, obviously. But Ray Allen, to go from the court into that role and play the way he did, and even the characters, like Big Time Willie, trying to, like, pry him off and get him to go to his side, like, just the way it was casted, it's a Spike Lee joint. White Man, He Got Game, excuse me. That's my number one, no doubt about it. I can't wait to hear your number one then.
Number one, you know this about me, George. I went to the University of Texas, El Paso, which used to be called Texas Western, who won the 1966 NCAA championship in men's college basketball. And when they did that, they were the first team to win a national championship and also to start an all-black starting five in college basketball. So I absolutely love that story. My movie that I love is Glory Road. It kind of brought that story to light for me, but if you haven't seen that movie, it's an hilarious movie. It's heartfelt. It's got some great moments. It's Disney-ified. So it's like the stories are, blown up a little bit. But, I had the opportunity of playing at UTEP. Willie Cager came to all of our games. I made sure I dapped him up before every single game that we played and that I played at the University of Texas El Paso at home. Having Willie there, learning knowledge from him before he passed away, man, it was just a special opportunity to get close to somebody that I looked up to growing up as a kid. Just, helping pave the way for guys like me to have basketball as an opportunity, as an outlet for us to express ourselves and be, good human beings and use the game to do more. It was just such a great feeling to be able to meet him and meet guys around that team and play in the Don Haskins Center and, all of that type of stuff. So I love Glory Road. It's not the best basketball movie ever, but man, I sure do love it. I quote it all the time. So my boys know, show them how to make a layup. And he slowly mows his way, you know what I'm saying, to the rim and makes a little regular over the hand layup or whatever. And, they're like, nah, I got to do it with style, coach. So yeah, bro. I love that movie.
It doesn't have to be the best; it has to be the best too. I think all those reasons are great. That's what I was thinking. It was above the rim, Coach Carter, Glory Road. Those were the three that I was like, I want them. But yeah, man, what it means to you. And I agree. The message is amazing. I didn't know UTEP used to be Texas Western. I get why they rebrand. You don't want to be a directional school, as I say. And I think UTEP is fire as hell. But that's really cool to know that Texas Western is now UTEP. I had no idea.
Yeah, it is. It is. All right, George, look, we don't have that much time left. We'll get to a Stop Me Win in a later episode because I know you really want to talk about the player that we got to get to. I really want to talk about something that's important to us right now. The Sun face the Aces tonight, all right? Two teams that could match up in the WNBA Finals if the Aces happen to get there, because I'm already claiming that my Sun are getting there. George, how important is this game for these teams tonight?
I mean, both it's huge. We know the run that Asia Wilson's been going on. But for the Sun, I mean, this is it. Like, the Sun have a deeper team, but then the Aces have the best player in the league. And, of course, she's got some great teammates with her. It's just so hard to pick. I want to go Aces just because I want to go with the best player in this matchup. But if the CT Sun come in and upset the Aces in this one, by the way, that's a game with a 1.5 point spread. So that just shows you how tight these two teams are. And the Sun have been hotter as of late, winning 5 of their last 7. So they've been getting it right. I think this game is huge. And you mentioned it. I mean, it's a finals preview. This is what's great for the league. We see the teams have clinched playoff spots. Both of them obviously have. But these are the games of fine tuners before you get into the postseason of how ready are we? What's that taste of what we get? I'm going to go with white tee wearing Asia Wilson. I'm going to keep it simple. I like the Aces in this matchup. I just got to go with the best player. But it's tough. The Sun are that good with DeWanna Bonner and everyone else they bring to the floor.
Yeah, Sun at home. I'm taking the Sun on this one. Look, the Aces have been struggling throughout this season, and it's crazy to say that, oh, they're struggling, and they're fourth in the entire WNBA. But they have a super team. They got the Avengers. It's like playing Team USA basketball whenever you play the Aces. They had like 4 ladies on the USA team this summer. There's no excuse for them to be this bad, especially when Asia is playing out of her mind. I mean, she's literally leading the league in scoring since the Olympic break. She was carrying Team USA with Breanna Stewart. She's just been having a fantastic season. And like you said, she's wearing her white tees because she's coming in locked in. But the Sun are just been unbeatable basically since the break as well. Marina Mabry, she's been coming in and just lighting the floor up and giving them that scoring kick that they really, really needed on a consistent basis. DeWanna Bonner, you know what she does. She's scoring the basketball. You know what Alyssa Thompson is doing. You know what Dejanay Carrington is bringing to the floor. She's locking everybody up. One of the greatest defenders in the WNBA. I think the Sun are going to come out because they also have to play the Aces again before the season ends, before we get to playoffs. I think they're going to come out on their home court, try to make a statement, coming off a loss to the Seattle Storm that they were not happy about. They're going to be locked in, and they're going to go at the Aces from tip to finish. You know what I mean? They're going to be locked in. So I'm excited to see this matchup. I don't even know what I'm going to have to do. Split screen or something. NFL on this screen, Sun on this screen, because this is going to be a good one.
I love what smart is. I mean, the NFL is going to have the game on Peacock, which is so dumb. WNBA is just going to be accessible on ESPN. Throw on that game. People are going to be shuffling. And you know what? Good for the WNBA. I mean, the audience continues to grow. The sport continues to grow. It's going to be an awesome arena being at Mohegan Sun. And guess what? Everyone's going to be looking for this game on Friday. Be like, oh, wait, I can't watch it. Boom, throw on ESPN. Everyone's going to be watching that one. I like it. We're head-to-head on this one. But you're right. I just love that. It's just tough for me to bet against A'ja Wilson. But that's when I look at the Sun. I said it to start. I'm like, the Sun are so deep. They have so much talent. I'm not going to be shocked if the Sun if the Sun win on Friday. I won't be shocked at that. And it's a great appetizer before we get into the main course of the playoffs.
Yeah, 100%. All right, George. That's it for us, bro. Wrap this show up, man. Wrap it up.
Man, it was good to bring it on. Hey, I'm going to wrap it up with this quick story I got for you. You talked about your fade off the top. I want to let you know, the summer that we met, summer 2015, I'm living in LA for an internship at Fox Sports 1, right? I'm taking an Uber ride. I forget where I was going, but I see some guy just pop out of a barbershop, sickest fade I've ever seen. I was like, all right, put a pin down in my phone. A week later, I'm like, all right, I just got to go get a cut. I don't know what to do. Walk in, 5-6 chairs of older Hispanic men and women. Like I'm saying, like the youngest barber in this spot had to have been 50. Men, women, grandmas, grandpas, moms, dads, whoever they were. I went to every single chair. There was like 5 or 6 chairs in here because I would just go in, no appointment. Every fade I got, Tay, was the greatest fade I've ever had outside of my boy, Drew, who cuts me here in Somerville. That's how LA gets you right. And the biggest catch of it all, bro, it was like $11 for the fade. $11. I bet the price still holds right now, my man.
That's crazy, bro. But you're right. Like I back home, go to this guy in Gardena, $20, old head, mom and pop type shop. You know what I mean? He's got like 3 chairs in there. They got a like half salon in the back, bro. But every time, consistent, knows he's gonna be on time. He's always giving me good wisdom, regular barbershop talk. He's talking to me about, oh, man, yeah, you think Tatum got it? You think, Drew Holiday is this? You think? I'm like, hey, man, you know what I'm saying? It's just great time. You chop it up. You walk out of there with a smile, and your wallet's happy as well, and so is your cut, man. Your cut is fresh. So, yeah, bro, shout out to the L.A. barbers, man.
If I'm ever in LA needing a cut, I'm going to go right to your guy. He's Ountae Campbell. I'm George Balekji. This was Hold My Banner. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the Friday night showdown between the Aces and the Sun. We'll see you guys with the latest episode next Monday. Peace.